James Buckner here, coming to you guys here from Cedar Grove, Tennessee. I want to talk to you about some simple principles today about achievement. You know, I've been thinking about where I am, and if you understand what numbers mean and you want to relevantly stay in alignment with achieving what purposely from a biblical standpoint of what a number mean, and definitely just look at this year as being the number of victory. So what you want to have victory in, if you want to make it a yearly resolution of victorious things that can come to fruition in your life on this year, definitely look at this year as being the year of victory. So I want to talk to you about 5 quick principles that is really essential for having achievement in relation to helping in anything in reference to income or business, your ministry or anything. It's going to come down to people. It's all about people. But let me share these with you. The first one I want to talk with you that is each of us can achieve far beyond our horizons in avenues of life and that we never even explored. But we've got to have that. We got to have that belief system about ourselves. You got to believe that you can. You know, you think about the little engine that could. He thinks he could. He thinks he could. He thinks he could. He thinks he could. And then before he could get over the mountain of achievement, he had to believe in himself. And that principle is so important. We all can achieve far beyond the horizon of what we can even imagine. And the scripture even talk about, you know, that we can do far more, and in reference to doing far more, than if we got the right mindset and we know our potential, then greater he that's in us and he that's in the world. The scripture teaches us that we can call on the one that can do far more than we can even imagine and even think of. But definitely, the first thing is we've got to have that belief about ourselves. If you think you can and you think you can't, you're right. Either one's right. That's what Ford said. So you definitely got to have the mentality of knowing that you can achieve. You can achieve. Then it goes into the next one. Each of us have some goodness, with basic goodness within us, which is a foundational thing for greatness that we can ultimately achieve. You know, everybody, you know, some people say, well, I'm not like so-and-so, and I'm not like him, and I'm not like her. And there's just another scripture that says that he that compare himself among himself are not wise. We shouldn't compare ourselves with nobody. Everybody has a basic concept within them of achievement in the level of the goodness that they want to achieve by helping others. In relation to that, you've got to tap into your divine inner endeavors. The divine personal endeavors is just your gifts, your talents, and that which is in you already. Everybody got that in them. You got to tap into it to achieve that greatness that you've already destined to achieve. That's number 2, that each one of us has got a basic divine intervention within us that we have to tap into to make it worth to ultimately achieve what we want to achieve. And you got to tap into that. You really got to tap into it. Number 3 is this. Each of us must take a responsibility for our actions, for our well-being, and the attainment of the maximum potential. You know, it's nobody's fault but yours if you don't achieve what you want to achieve. You have to really realize that you're responsible for your actions. You know, your belief drives your behavior, and your actions come from that particular behavior of what you currently understood to be relevant for and congruent to where you wanted to go. So you got to understand that you have to take responsibility for your actions and your well-being and your attainment to maximum potential. The potential that you have inside of you, you've got to tap into it, and you got to take responsibility that you are the one that's in relation to getting to that achievement, getting to that level of accomplishment, getting to that maximum potential. That's number 3. You've got to take responsibility. A lot of people want to put that on somebody else, which goes to number 4. Number 4 is just self-awareness. If you don't never take a time where you evaluate where you are, to take an inventory of where you are, to approve where you are, to commit to where you're not. And you tell your children you want them to race, and you always tell them, on your mark, get ready, get set, go. That's the whole thing about self-awareness and self-approval. You have to ask yourself, do you approve of where you are right now? Do you approve of your accomplishments right now? Are you in a place that you can self-fulfill the things that you're destined to fulfill? That's number 4. Self-awareness, self-approval, self-commitment. Are you at a commitment level that you know you're going to achieve? And then self-fulfillment. You have to be in that alignment of self-image and self-approval and self-attainment to do what you got to do. Number 5, guys, last but not least, building and maintaining relationships are critical to social development. Everything that you do is going to take more people to accomplish the goals, the dreams, the visions that you have. Everything that you do, you've got to build and maintain relationships. So you got to make sure that your communication skills is intact. You got to make sure when you're talking to people, when you're connecting with people, that you have no agenda. You just want to build relationships. You just want to connect with more people. You just want to connect the dots. You just want to make sure that your social development is growing on a day-to-day basis. You're connecting with people, connecting dots, and both in your family and in your community first, because you got to get that right first. And then you reach out to other people and make sure that you're building and maintaining relationships. That's the 5 I wanted to share with you. But let me give you a bonus here today. That's the 5 I wanted to share. But one bonus on principles that you got to get in line with is mutual respect is the fundamental element of human relations. And when you have a mutual respect, no matter what a person's political development are, no matter what a person's spiritual development is, no matter what their social development is, you got to have a mutual respect, because that's the fundamental element of all human relations. I hope this has been some help to you today. And guys, this is James Buckley. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be intentional, be inspirational, be you, because you're the only you there is. God didn't make no other like you, so be intentional. Take care.